In the last lecture, we discussed about the monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, and the Mendel's laws of inheritance. In this lecture today, we are going to discuss backcross, test cross, pleiotropy, deviation from the Mendel findings, and so on. So today we start first with the test cross. Test cross means what? So the cross of F1 hybrid with the homozygous recessive parent is known as the test cross. Now, it is used to find out the genotype of unknown parent. So that's why it is known as capital TT means nothing but see here in the homozygous dominant plant or the heterozygous capital T small t, homozygous recessive small t. Yes, we know that this part. So the test cross which is used to find out the genotype of any plant with dominant expression. So in the test cross, we know or we cross unknown with one parent homozygous recessive to find out the genotype. In case of this test cross, it is a back cross, but back cross is not necessarily a test cross. So what does it mean? So for that, we have to take one example. When hybrid express recessive trait, example dwarf pea plant, its genotype. See here, and this is nothing but the graphic representation of the test cross. We are first going to discuss about this graphic representation of the test cross. As we know, dear student, these test cross which is used to find out the genotype and the cross of F1 hybrid with the homozygous recessive parent is known as here the test cross. So for that we are taking one example over here. A pea plant having the violet or the purple flower is crossed with the pea plant with the white flower. See here, homozygous recessive purple color flower which is nothing but cross with the homozygous recessive plant which is here the white plant. So as here in case of them we cross them, we can calculate the plant is pure or homozygous, and if we get the violet and white flower which is equal manner 1:1 ratio, then we can conclude the plant which is a heterozygous. So dear students, see here we are start crossing. Graphic representation of the test cross, violet or purple flower cross with the white flower. See, these are the small r homozygous recessive, which is again here the small r. We are taking here the dominant phenotype, which is an unknown one. Okay, purple color flower. So here it is nothing but capital R represented by. So with the help of a Punnett square method or the checkerboard method, we can take a gametes. See here in this way capital R, small r, capital R, small r. Similar here capital R, small r, capital R, small r. See here dear student, all these flowers are violet. Okay, all the flowers are violet because all they are here the hybrid one. So all flowers are violet. So unknown flower is homozygous dominant because homozygous means what? Homozygous is nothing but the similar. So that's why we can say here these plants are the homozygous. These plants are homozygous dominant one. Now next part. See here in the next part we are discuss here. In case of this part we are taking here. This is the dominant phenotype. Now next part we are again cross with the homozygous recessive parent with the unknown genotype. So here this again the capital R cross with small r. So here the capital R and small r. Again similar here capital R and small r. See here these are the gamete. Similar again manner capital small r. So here the genotype is small r. Next one again the similar here the small r. So here again the small r. So that's why here see in both the result we can identify now. Here what happened? Here these are the purple color flower and these are the white color flower. Means these are present in the 1:1 ratio. Purple color flowers also 2 and white color flower also 2. So that's why half of the flowers are violet and half of the flowers are white. And so unknown flower is heterozygous. So this is the way to identify the genotype of the given one. So in this way, This is the graphic representation of the test cross recessive parent which is crossed with to find out the unknown genotype. This is about here the pea plant, dear student. Remember about we are talking, this is the test cross which is used to find out the genotype. The cross of F1 hybrid with the homozygous recessive parent is known as a test cross, and for that, to understand the test cross, what we did, to understand the test cross, we cross with the homozygous recessive parent with the unknown genotype, and see the results are here. Next slide. See, next example we are taking about the test cross. The cross between the hybrid. The cross between the hybrid and its homozygous recessive parent. So it is called as here the test cross. It is used to identify the genotype of the hybrid. So now here we are taking the example hybrid tall plant. See here hybrid tall plant genotype is what? Capital T and small t, because these are the hybrid. When we are taking here the homozygous tall plant, then genotype is the capital T, capital T. Next is the character small t because it is a recessive dwarf plant. Then cross. Here we get what? How many gametes? Here we get the two gametes, and these are capital T and small t. Here we get only the one gamete because they are similar. Then cross it. What we get here? Capital T cross with small t. We get capital T and small t, means again the tall plant. Again small t cross with small t. What we get? We get the dwarf plant because the genotype is small t, small t. So here the phenotypic ratio is what? 1 is to 1. Means what? 1 is the tall plant and 1 is the dwarf plant. So the phenotypic ratio is 1 is to 1, and genotypic ratio means what? Here genotypic ratio which is written in this way, capital T and small t is to small t and small t. How many time it came? It came only the one time, and so that's why the ratio is also 1 is to 1. So remember dear student, test cross which is used to find out the genotype. The cross of F1 hybrid with the homozygous recessive parent is termed as the test cross. Next, see here. Capital T cross with small t. What is the gamete? See here. This is nothing but the gametes over here we got. Capital T, small t. Okay, see this way. And here the tall plant. Again here the capital T, small t. Tall plant. Here also the same. And so all plants are tall. So tall are the 4 and dwarf is nothing. So it is a 0. Next here the capital T, small t cross with small t, small 2. Small t. Just now here, see here that capital T, small t means nothing but here the hybrid plant. Okay, this is the hybrid plant and this is the recessive plant. So in this plant here, capital T, small t. See here tall plant and small t. Here the dwarf plant. Here means what? Again 1 is to 1 ratio, because here the number of the tall plants are similar to the number of a dwarf plant. Next is the all are dwarf. See here small t cross with the small t. Means here the this is what? This which plant it is? It is a dwarf plant. It is a short plant, or which is the dwarf plant. So that's why here we took kept small t and small t all are the dwarf plant. So this is the test cross. Now next is the how to calculate the PR and GR. I had already explained you. PR means what? Phenotypic ratio, and GR means what? Genotypic ratio. So when the PR, that is the phenotypic ratio, is equal to 3 is to 1 and into n. Where is the n? N is what? N is the number of a trait or the character. Now if we are taking the example of the monohybrid cross, n is equal to how many? 1, because there is a single contrasting character. And so that's why PR, that is phenotypic ratio, is equal to 3 is to 1 into 1, that is 3 is to 1. And that a hybrid cross, two contrasting characters. So that's why 3 is to 1 into 2. So is equal to 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. So this way we can calculate the PR and GR. Now, next part we are going to discuss here the deviations from the Mendel's finding. So, in this deviation from the Mendel's finding, we are going to discuss about the neo-Mendelism. Neo-Mendelism means what? Which is also called as deviations of the Mendel's, which is named as deviations of the Mendel. So after the rediscovery of the Mendel's laws, many scientists perform the different experiment on the different plants as well as the animal to understand the observation. And so there are, on the basis of this observation, different patterns of the inheritance or the gene interaction where will become discovered. And due to that's why these are already explained by the suitably modifying the Mendel's laws, and that's why it is called as here the post-Mendelian genetics or neo-Mendelian genetics. After the rediscovery of the Mendel's law, many scientists are performing the different experiment on the plants as well as the animal, and so that's why they found that the observation of the Mendel is exactly correct. And so now this is the rediscovery, which is called as here the post-Mendelian genetics or the neo-Mendelian genetics. This is about here the Mendel deviation, or which is termed as here the neo-Mendelian genetics. Now next is the intragenic. Now when we are observing the phenotypic expression of a gene can be modified or influenced by the other genes, and these gene interaction, there are the two kinds of interaction, and these are called as here the intragenic interaction and the intergenic interaction. Means what? Here in case of this intragenic interaction means what? In case of this intragenic interaction here, see here we can explain over here. This is when we are taking the example of the intragenic interaction, that is the it occurs between the alleles of the same gene. In case of it occurs alleles of same gene, which is called as here the intragenic. What it is called? It is called as intragenic. It is termed as intragenic inheritance, or sorry, intragenic interaction. So in case of this interaction, intragenic interaction which is occurs between the alleles of a same gene. Example, incomplete dominance and the codominance. Intragenic, which is the two example, that is incomplete dominance, in short we called as here the I, incomplete dominance, so that is I, C, D, and complete dominance, that is here the C, D. These are the two examples of intragenic interaction. Remember that it occurs between the alleles of the same gene, which is called as intragenic interaction. Now, next one, in case of the intergenic interaction. Next is the part which is called as here the intergenic interaction. What it is called? It is called as intergenic interaction. So, in case of this intergenic interaction means what? So this interaction, which is termed as intergenic interaction, because of it occurs between the alleles of a different genes which is present on the same or different chromosome, and so it is termed as the intergenic or non-allelic interaction. It is termed as non-allelic or non-allelic or intergenic interaction, means it occurs between the alleles of the different genes which is present on the same or different chromosome. Examples are the pleiotropy, polygyny, epistasis, supplementary and complementary gene. These are the few examples of the intergenic interaction. So dear student, just remember about here the intergenic, which is nothing but occur in between the same gene. Okay, it occurs the alleles of the same gene, and intergenic, which is occurs in between the different genes present on the same or different chromosome. Examples of the intergenic, which is the supplementary, complementary genes, pleiotropy, polygenes, epistasis. All these are the examples of the intergenic. And intragenic, ICD, means the incomplete dominance, and CD, that is the complete dominance. We will discuss here one by one. Now next part is the incomplete dominance and the codominance. We will discuss here one by one. See here in the codominance. In this codominance, which is the both the genes of allelomorphic pair which is express themselves in the equal manner, and so that's why in the hybrid. And so such type of alleles which are able to express themselves independently even if they are together, and so that's why such hybrids are called as codominant allele. Such hybrids, which is nothing but called as here the codominant allele. So these are about here the codominance. Okay, this is the they are taking example of the human blood group. We are taking the example of the which is represented in case of the color of a cattle. We are taking the example of color of a cattle. Incomplete dominance. See here, codominance. Both the alleles of a character are dominant and express its full character, which is called as here the codominance. Example, AB blood group of the human being. This is also codominance features. And next we are taking the example of the color of the cattle. So the situation in which both the alleles of a pair are fully expressed in the phenotype of the heterozygous F1 generation, then these are called as codominant allele. Example we are taking here. The codominance is the coat color of the cattle. We are taking the example of the coat color of a cattle as well as the color of a snapdragon flower also. So we are taking the example of in case of the coat color of a cattle. I will give you the slides for that. There are the two types of a color of a coat of cattle. One with the red coat, red skin, and other with the white coat, that is the white hair. So when the red cattle, capital R, cross with the white cattle, see here we are taking the examples over here, codominance. What we are taking? We are taking the coat color in case of the cattle. So the example is nothing but capital R means what? Red coat color cattle cross with white color cattle. So that is white. So that's why we are taking here the W. Capital W. So what happened here? So this is nothing but the red color cattle. Okay. This is what? This is the red color cattle. This is the red color cattle and this is the white color cattle. Now when we are crossing over here, so gametes is what here got? We got here the gamete R. Capital R, here we got the gamete capital W. So just cross it over here. What we got here? So here we got rune. Okay, what we got here? We got here the rune. So that is capital R and capital W. Similarly here also. So we got here the rune, that is capital R and capital W. So they are having the color which is expressed in the both color are expressed in the F1 generation. So as it is seen in the F1 hybrid have the rune color. Runes have the mixture of the red and white color here. So now this is the cross. After this cross, which is nothing but having, this is the F1 generation. Which generation? First filial generation, which is called as F1 generation, and this type of a cattle which is called as here the roan, because it having the mixture of both color, that is here the red color and what? White color, and so it is termed as a roan, which is appear both the color in F1 generation equally. So both the traits are expressed equally. While in the F2 generation, which is produced by the interbreeding of runes, that is red RR and RW, these are produced in the ratio of the 1:2:1. Okay, this about here what? This is the F1 generation. Again when we are taking a cross, so after that, which is here the giving the mates. Now see here, what we got here? We got here the two gametes, that is here the R and here again the W. Similarly here we got two gametes, that is R and W. Okay, so after that crossing, and after the crossing what we got? We got here in the F2 generation progeny. So in this F2 generation, See here, we are explaining this. So now, this is about here the in case of the F1 generation what we got. Now, in the F2 generation, second filial generation, in the F2 generation, the phenotypes are here the in the second generation we got here after the crossing. These progeny we got and these are after this crossing. I am writing only the genotype, then I will explain. Capital R, capital R. Okay. Capital R means what? Red color progeny. Then RW and RW. Okay. How many progeny of RW? Just cross this, dear student, with your in your notebook. And here last is what we got? We got last WW. So calculate this. Capital R means what? Red color. Capital R, capital W means what? Roan. These two are roan and these one is the white. So when we are writing about here in case of the phenotypic ratio, so the phenotypic ratio is what? 1:2:1. That is means what? Red is to roan. Red is to roan and is to what? Is to white. Okay. Red is to roan is to white. That is here what? Red how many time it came? It came one time. Is to roan two time. And white come only the one time. So that's why see here this is the ratio 1:2:1. And genotypic ratio is also same. RR, RW, WW. It is also the same. That is here in case of the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So here this codominance which shows both the ratios are equal or both the ratios are identical. So in both incomplete dominance, so this is the example of here the codominance. What we discuss here? We discuss the codominance. Codominance means what? This is the phenomenon when both the genes of an allelomorphic pair which express themselves equally in the F1 generation. See here dear student, this is the red color cattle, this is the white color cattle and their gametes are R and here gametes are W. When we are crossing in the F1 generation, we got here the RW, that is here the red color also appear and white color which is also appear, means here both the color are appear in the F1 generation. In the F2 generation what we got here the one cattle which is completely red, one cattle which is completely white and two cattle which is a roan color. So their ratio of phenotypic ratio is 1:2:1 and genotypic ratio which is also 1:2:1. So both the ratios are similar in the codominance. Now see here. See, we are taking the example, another example, color of a snapdragon flower. So this is the color of a snapdragon flower which is termed as here the scientific name Antirrhinum species. A cross between the individual that are the homozygous with red flower and individuals with the white flower. Then what we got? We get here the pink color flower and ratio is the 1:2:1. Now see here. This is the red color flower, parent, white color flower, capital R, this is the genotype. Okay, and here white WW. So capital R indicates here the gametes, one gamete here, one gamete here. After the crossing what we got? We got here the F1 generation, both the colors are appear equally, means red also and white also, and that's why the progeny which is in which color? The progeny which is in the pink color, red and white are mixed and the progeny which is the pink in color. So this is about here the F1 generation, while in the F2 generation again it crossed together. So we get one red, two pink and one white. Similarly, phenotypic ratio is 1:2:1, similar as the genotypic ratio 1:2:1. Both the ratios are identical. See here. This is the P1, P generation, parent generation, red color. This is the white color. These release gametes C, R and W. color is the pink color, F1 generation. In the gametes in the F1 generation, these are the RW. Then again it cross with F2 generation, again it crossing, and after the selfing in F2 generation we get this color. That is here one is the white, one is the red, and two are the pink in color. Now, next is the incomplete dominance. So, in case of the incomplete dominance, both the genes of an allelomorphic pair which is expressed equally. Okay, both the genes of an allelomorphic pair which is expressed which is expressed partially manner, and in the codominance which is expressed in the equally manner. While in the incomplete dominance, both the genes of an allelomorphic pair express themselves in the partially. One gene cannot suppress the expression of the other genes completely, and so that's why the pair is not as a dominant and other one is the recessive. Means neither it is dominant and nor it is recessive. So because of what? Here the phenotype of heterozygous flower which is intermediate between them. So that's why here they cannot express themselves partially. So express themselves partially over here. One gene cannot suppress the other one. And so it shows here the intermediate expression in the F1 hybrid. And these are here the examples. We are taking the example for that Snapdragon, which is the incomplete dominance. See, this is the example we took already. Okay, this is about here the incomplete dominance. That example which is related to here the which is related to incomplete dominance we had already discussed. This is about the graphic representation of incomplete dominance in the Snapdragon. Remember, dear student, here both the ratios are same. Incomplete dominance which is also having 1 is to 2 is to 1, and codominance which is also having the 1 is to 2 is to 1. Now next is the part which is called as here the multiple alleles. So multiple allele means what? More than two alternative forms more than two alternative forms or alleles of a gene in a population occupying the same locus, same position on the chromosome, or its homologous are known as multiple alleles. So it is a condition when the more than two alleles occupy means located on the same gene position on a pair of homologous chromosome. Homologous chromosome means what? Which is genetically and also which is genetically as well as external as well as genetical features are similar, identical. Such type of chromosomes are called as the homologous chromosome. So this is about here a condition when the more than two alleles occupying the same gene locus on a pair of homologous chromosome, which is termed as here the multiple alleles. And two alleles can be present in the single organism, like as here the ABO blood group system also. And there are the four types of a blood group in the human being. Yes, dear student, we know A blood group, B, AB and O. So the ABO locus which is having the three common alleles. See here, this is the blood group system, ABO blood group system. A which is having the genotype which is present in both. See here, IA, 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 I0. Again B, IB, 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 I0, AB, IA, IB, O, which is nothing but there is a no here. They are not present over here. So that's why I0, I0 means nothing but null. And so IO, which is a recessive allele, this is here the recessive allele, while IA and IB, which is the dominant or the codominant allele. So this is about here the multiple allele. Okay, multiple alleles which is arises by mutation in the wild type of a gene. Example, Drosophila, which is having the large number of multiple alleles are known because according to their size of wings. The wings, normal wings to be vestigial. Vestigial means these are the false wings, or no non-functional, which is called as mostly. So that's why they no wings, just stumps, and it is due to the one allele VG in the homozygous condition, while the normal wing is the wild type, while the vestigial wings, which is the recessive type. This is about here the multiple alleles system. I will give you the example of the, see here, this is about the example of incomplete dominance, Snapdragon. See, this is the examples of the incomplete dominance, and now see, this is the example of the multiple allele. Okay, blood group, possible genotype. Now just we will find out the genotype, we will find out the blood group if the parent which is having the one parent having the A blood group, other one which is also A. So the child blood group is A or O. A group and B group, then the child blood group may be A, may be B, AB or O. A and AB, AB or AB, A and O, then A or O blood group. B and B, B or O, B and AB, AB or AB, B and O, then B or O blood group. AB, AB and AB. So here A or B or AB, AB and O, A or B. O group, then O. So this is nothing but the blood group system in case of the human being. Next we are taking the example of the pleiotropy. Pleiotropy means what? So here in case of the pleiotropy means what? Pleiotropy, which is when the single gene control two or more different traits. It is called as here the pleiotropy. Okay, when single gene control two or more different character trait means what character? It is called as the pleiotropic genes. And this phenomenon which is termed as the pleiotropic phenomenon. Okay, this phenomenon which is termed as the pleiotropism. And pleiotropic phenotypic ratio is the 1:2 instead of a 3:1 because of the death of a recessive homozygous. We will discuss here one. The disease is the sickle cell anemia which is caused by the gene HbS, sickle cell anemia disease. Here the RBC shapes which is getting to be turned into the sickle shape, and so it is called as here the sickle cell shape anemia, which is a normal healthy gene which is actually HbA and it is a dominant. So now the carriers which shows the signs of a mild anemia while their RBCs become sickle shape and half moon shape, which is also called only under in the abnormal condition. Now see here what is the pleiotropism. When the single pair, okay, when the single pair of a gene control the production of the many character, and then it is called as here the pleiotropism, and this gene which is called as the pleiotropic gene. The term pleiotropy was coined by in the 1910 by the Frischkript. Now this is the explained genetic effect of a single gene on the multiple phenotypic trait or the character. So now this is about here the pleiotropism. Example, PKU also, which is the example. Phenylketonuria. It is a disease, is an example of the pleiotropy in the human being because it is caused. How it is caused? It caused due to the mutation in the single gene that is called as here. Mutation means what? Sudden changes appear in the single gene, that is the PP, that code for the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. And so that's why there is a changes in the phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, and it get convert the amino acid phenylalanine, and these phenylalanine get converted into the tyrosine, and due to this mutation conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine, which is reduced or which is ceased entirely, and so that disease which is caused the mental retardation and reduce the hair and the skin pigmentation, which is also called as here the phenylketonuria, which is the example of the pleiotropism, means single gene which is code for the many trait. And so here how it is caused? It is caused due to the mutation in the single gene PP that codes for the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. And so that's why phenylalanine hydroxylase get converted the amino acid into the phenylalanine to the tyrosine. And because of this conversion, it causes the mental retardation and the reduced hair and the skin pigmentation. See here, incorrect bases in the DNA. See here, this is the pleiotropy in the sickle cell anemia, HbS, HbA. This is the HbA normal one, HbA carrier one, and HbA carrier, and HbS which is the death, means the occur death. Here see HbA and HbS crossing with this way, then progeny is obtained in this way. Okay. So dear student, this is about here what we discuss. We discuss about here the pleiotropy with the example of sickle cell anemia and the PKU, that is the phenylketonuria. Next we are going to discuss, next point is the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Now dear student, as we know here the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Chromosome means what? Chromosomes. These are the chromosomes which is nothing but located where? They are located in the nucleus. What is the function? It carries the information which determines our characteristic features, and each chromosome which is made up from what? They are made up from the DNA. So this is about here the introduction of the chromosome. Now see the picture of the chromosome. This is about here the arm of the chromosome, here the center which is termed as here the centromere, because both the arm are joined together with the centromere. This is the chromatid, this is the longer arm. Now we are going to discuss here the chromosomal theory of the inheritance. Now, as here the chromosomal theory of inheritance, first it was proposed by Walter Sutton and Boveri. So that's why which is termed as here the Sutton and Boveri theory. This chromosomal theory of inheritance which is termed as here the Sutton and Boveri theory. So this theory, how this working? So the movement of the behavior of chromosome which is parallel to the behavior of the genes, and the chromosome movement which is used by the explanation of Mendel law. We had already discussed the Mendel law. So in case of this chromosome and the genes are present in pairs in diploid cells. So as this homologous chromosome, as we know dear student, these genes which is responsible to transfer the genetic information from one generation to another generation. Genes are located on where? These are located on the chromosome. So that's why it carries the genetic information from one generation to another generation. But in the homologous chromosome, they are separate, segregate during where? In the gamete formation during the meiosis. While the fertilization restores the chromosome number in the diploid condition. Now see here. The chromosomal theory we are going to first discuss. So chromosomal theory, this chromosomal theory which is going to discuss by the Sutton and Boveri, and in case of them, first explanation given by the inheritance of the trait by the Mendel, and at that time their work is not recognized, and that's why again it will become rediscovered, and then it is termed as here the neo Mendelism or the post-Mendelian genetics. So as here he did not, now they are explaining about here the inheritance. So they explain about the physical location of the factor, because we know that Mendel called the genes. Mendel's termed as, or they are telling that here the factor is responsible for the transmission of the genetic information from one generation to another generation. But nowadays these factors are called as what? These factors are called as the genes in where? In the gametic cells. And then 1900, three scientists Hugo de Rice, Correns and von Schamack independently rediscovered the Mendel work on the inheritance of the trait, and then they observed the different parts, and according to them they are discuss about the chromosomal theories of inheritance. Chromosomal theories of inheritance was put by the Sutton and Boveri in year 1904, and it is a theory of genetics which identify the chromosome as the carrier of a genetic material. What it tells, the chromosomal theory, genetics or nothing but here the gametes, sperm and egg carry all the hereditary character. Yes, after the fusion of the gametes in the diploid zygotes, that's why the progeny or the offspring which is get born and it is a mixture of both parents. So that's why here gametes, sperm and egg carry all the hereditary character and they are linked between the parents and offspring. This is the link, connecting link in between the offspring as well as their parent. Next part, nucleus of the gametes contain the chromosome and which carry all the hereditary character. Now, gametes, nucleus of the gametes which carry the chromosome and the chromosome means the genes, they are carry all the hereditary character. Chromosomes are found in the pairs of somatic or diploid cell. They are present where? They are present in the somatic or the diploid cell. During the gamete formation, homologous chromosome pair and separate independently in the process meiosis, and so thus each gamete contain only one chromosome of a pair. Remember that homologous chromosome gets separate or segregate during the meiosis process, and that's why each gamete contain only one chromosome of a pair. During the fertilization, union of a sperm and egg restore the diploid number of the chromosome. So now this theory, which is termed as here what? Chromosomal theory. What we have to remember, dear student, we have to remember gametes means the sperm and egg carry all the hereditary character and it is a connecting link in between the offspring and the parent. Next, nucleus of the gametes contain chromosome which carry all the hereditary character. Third, chromosomes are found in the pairs in somatic or diploid cell. Fourth, during gamete formation, homologous chromosome pair and segregate or separate independently at meiosis, and thus each gamete contains only one chromosome of a pair. Next, during fertilization, the union of a sperm and egg restore the diploid number of the chromosome. This theory, which is termed as here the homologous theory. Next part, which is called as here the number of the chromosome. So again here we are discussing the number of the chromosome. In case of the chromosome, as we know dear student, these are the filamentous body which is present in where? In the eukaryotic nucleus. And here that the chromosomes are visible during the cell division. They are having ability of the self replication, means they are replicate itself, and so that's why we are calling them self replication ability, and they are playing very important role where hereditary transmission of the inherited character, mutation, sudden changes appearing in their variation, differences, and evolutionary development of the eukaryotic species. Evolution, during the evolution they carry these four function which is takes place by or playing by the chromosome. Next, the function of the chromosome. Chromosomes are the carriers of the heredity, and chromosomes are made up of what? They are made up with the DNA, histone and the non-histone protein. Now, number of a chromosome in each species which is very specific, and it is a constant for the particular species. It is not similar in all the living beings. So that's why the number of the chromosome is specific and constant for a particular species, and therefore it is a great importance in the study of the phylogeny and taxonomy of the species. Now, the term ploidy. Ploidy means what? It is a degree of repetition of the primary basic number of the chromosome, that is X in the cell, which is called as here the ploidy. When the chromosome number in a cell which is exact multiple of the primary basic number, then it is called as here the euploidy. Then euploids, which is include the monoploid means single, haploid with one set of chromosome where the X is equal to what? N. Diploid where X is equal to 2. So that X is equal to N, that is here the monoploid means single. Diploid means 2. Triploids means 3 sets of chromosome. Tetraploid means 4 sets of chromosome, and so on. So when the chromosome number is not the exact multiple of the haploid set, and then it is termed as here the aneuploidy. So aneuploidy means what? Either it deletion or either it addition. Means one chromosome is added or the chromosome which is deleted. Then the term which is termed as here the aneuploidy, and it is not a normal one. It causes a disease. Okay. So now see here dear student, understand the ploidy. Ploidy means what? Ploidy means the degree of repetition of the primary basic number of the chromosome. Okay. It includes what? Euploidy. Euploidy means what? Euploids, which includes a monoploid, haploid, two sets of chromosome, diploid, three sets of chromosome, triploid, four sets of chromosome, tetraploid, polyploidy, many of them. Okay. Then here the aneuploidy, which is hypoploidy, hyperploidy, monosomy, nullisomy. These are nothing but called as here the chromosomal basis or chromosomal genetic disorder. Because it's not a normal. Aneuploidy means what? Either addition or deletion. And then if it is occurs, if the number is not normal, or not constant, then it causes a disease we will discuss later on. Now ploidy. See, repetition of the primary basic number. Euploidy, exact multiple of the primary basic number. Monoploid, single set of chromosome. Diploid, two sets of chromosome. Triploid, three sets of chromosome. Then polyploid, many sets of chromosome. Now see here aneuploidy, hypoploidy, then hyperploidy, and here the monosomy condition is the 2n minus 1, and nullisomy condition is the 2n minus 2, trisomy condition is the 2n plus 1, tetrasomy condition is the 2n plus 2. Aneuploidy, remember dear student, aneuploidy means what? It is the addition of the chromosome or the deletion of the chromosome. Just remember about here that it is the addition of the chromosome or deletion of the chromosome, and so it is termed as here what? It is termed as here the aneuploidy, and then again it get divided into these two forms, hypoploidy and hyperploidy. Okay, this is about here the classification of the aneuploidy. Now see here, aneuploidy means what? Addition or deletion of the chromosome which is showing the abnormality, and this is nothing but the abnormal condition or it causes a disease, and so it is termed as here the chromosomal based or chromosomal diseases. So in case of them, we are going to discuss, as we know dear student, in the normal human being having how many chromosomes? In normal human being having the 46 chromosome. Normal male which is having the 44 plus XY, that is here the 6 chromosome which is termed as X and Y in case of the male body, while in case of the normal female which is having 44 plus XX. Okay, this is the chromosome pair which is observed in case of the male and female body. And during the cell division, some mutation which is occurs, and so that's why it gets changes and shows the aneuploidy. Now, types of aneuploidy. This is the hypoploidy and hyperploidy. We will discuss one by one. First, we discuss the hypoploidy. When the chromosome numbers which is decreases or what, or it is less than the normal, then it is called as here the hypoploidy. Hypo means what? Less, below, and so in other words which is termed as here the deletion of the chromosome, and it is classified into again two type, monosomy 2n minus 1. So when the chromosome number is less than the normal, instead of the 46, the chromosome number which is getting to be a 47, and the chromosome number should be normally 44 plus 2, that is a 46, but in case of, and so that's why here the 1 is less, and so here that is the chromosome number getting to be increases, chromosome number getting to be deleted, one chromosome getting less, and so that's why in case of the example is the Turner syndrome, 44 plus XO means here X0, Y chromosome is absent. So that's why it is termed as the monosomy condition. Okay, what it is termed? It is termed as the monosomy condition. Now see, these are the example of Cry-Duchat syndrome. Here the deletion of the chromosome which is observed, and so it is termed as here the Cry-Duchat syndrome. Next one, in case of the, it is also called as arm of a P of fifth chromosome. Arm of P of fifth chromosome. Next, in case of them, Another type which is nothing but the nullisomy. Nullisomy means what? In case of this nullisomy condition, here gametes does not receive the homologous chromosome. See, dear student, here the requirement what? Homologous chromosome should be pair, then separate. Okay, but here the homologous chromosome gametes does not receive the homologous chromosome, and that's why the two chromosomes are missing. How many chromosomes are missing? Two chromosomes are missing, and such condition which is called as here the nullisomy. Such condition which is called as nullisomy. Next is the types of hyperploidy. Okay, next is what? Next is the type of hyperploidy. So it get classified into how many type again? It get classified into again two type, and these are here hyperploidy. So these are this term hyperploidy, which is classified into the two type, which is divided trisomy and tetrasomy. Okay, trisomy means what? Trisomy, it is the condition autosomal related trisomy. Another one is the sex related trisomy, and another type is the tetrasomy. We will discuss one by one. See here, occurrence of one extra chromosome in diploid chromosome is called as the trisomy. Addition of the chromosome. Addition of the chromosome means what? 2n plus 1. It again classified into two main type, and that's why here the here it get classified into two main type, which is called as here the autosomal related trisomy. Now in this autosomal related trisomy, we are taking the example that is the Down syndrome, then 21 trisomy 46 plus 1, Edwards syndrome 18 trisomy, Patau syndrome 13 trisomy. These are the genetic disease, student. Remember that these are the genetic disease means nothing but because of the addition or the deletion of the chromosome it appears. So these are the Edwards syndrome. So Edwards syndrome, which is called as here the 18 trisomy. So what is the symptoms of this disease? Down syndrome we are going to discuss in the detailed manner. At that time I will tell you. So here, in case of this Edwards syndrome, which is called as trisomy 18 trisomy, development abnormally small head, absence of one or both testes, birth defect with intestinal organs outside of the body, failure to thrive, low birth weight, short structures, and underdeveloped jaws. Eyes, dropping of upper eyelid or wide spaced eye, an abnormal deviation of the fingers, clenchy hands, no breathing, groin hernia, kidney defects, low set ears, and single line of palm or underside of foot is convex. Dear student, this is a very severe genetic diseases. These are the symptoms of the Edwards syndrome. Okay, and then these are the Edwards syndrome. Next, we are going to discuss about the Patay syndrome or Patau syndrome. So in case of this Patau syndrome or the Patay syndrome, here also the abnormally small head, birth defect, intestinal organ outside the body, failure to thrive, low birth weight, cleft lip, cleft palate, palate means jaw, episode of no breathing, flaccid muscles, muscles having no contraction relaxation, so flaccid muscles, having extra fingers or toes, heart function is abnormal, intellectual disability, low set ears, and microphthalmia, seizures or underside of foot is a convex. Next is the type of hyperploidy. So the hyperploidy, which is called as here the trisomy in the sex-related trisomy, which is a type. Another type is the sex-related trisomy, and these are represented in the form of trisomy in three set. In male XXY, normal what happened? Normal chromosome of in case of the male X and Y, but here extra, and so that's why which is called as trisomy XXY. In female XX triple X. Klinefelter syndrome, which is nothing but 44 plus XXY. We are going to discuss in detailed manner at that time. I will tell you the characters, means the symptoms and all. we are going to discuss at that time. So dear student, this is about here the what we discussing. This is about here the aneuploidy or the ploidy. Ploidy, which is what? These are getting to be divided into the two parts. Okay, these are about here they're divided into the two part, that is euploidy and aneuploidy, and then it again it will getting to be divided into the divisions types monoploidy, diploidy, polyploidy, which is again divided into the autopolyploidy, alloploidy, aneuploidy, which is get divided into the hypoploidy and hyperploidy. Again, hypoploidy divided into the monosomy and nullisomy. So, dear student, this is about your today's lecture. And next lecture, we are going to discuss about your the types of the chromosome, structure of the chromosome, sex chromosome, its linkage, types of linkage, and crossing over and another topic. So, dear student, if you have any doubt related to any topics of this video, tell me please. So stay home, stay safe, and thank you.